Okay, just to point out before we start ballasting that I didn't mention, you've got these washers here that we've used as shims, and with the screws pardon me, we've tightened them down just enough so that the track is dead level. If we'd have used tacks, we've got no flexibility of how we level the track, and this is not a good area anyway. So even on cork, where it's all like that, if you've got screws, you can adjust the track and get the level spot on, which really does work. Anyway, time for ballasting. We're going to ballast the track now. We'll use Woodland Scenic's medium ballast, which is part number 81394, and Woodland Scenic's coarse ballast 81388, 81388. We'll use 2/3 medium to 1/3 coarse. The reason we don't use fine is we learnt our lesson from a social media expert who advised it clogs up the points and is a devil to get out. We'll use a 50-50 UPVA mix with a dab of palm olive or any other washing up liquid that comes to hand. You need makeup brushes. They can be from the wife, mistress, boyfriend, whatever you have. Medicine spoon, no, that's not for sedatives for when it goes wrong. We've got a pipette. We have Dasamix there, and here you have a high quality atomizer. Thank you. Now with the ballasting, you can see why we have the medicine spoon. Don't steal Grandma's medicine spoon if it's the only one she's got. And you just gently put the ballast where you think you want it to go. If your cork is a little bit too far out, like it looks like it is the other side of the spoon now, you can trim it easily with a Stanley knife. That's not hard. And that's basically what you do when you put it along. Now you can see there we've trimmed it there. Now normally when you do it and we use Gauge Master cork strips, we don't have any of these issues. Now basically what you do is you use the makeup brush to brush it along, and you brush it in the direction you haven't done, and you push it in, not too hard, but you push it in enough so you're filling all the gaps, because remember the ballast is also holding down the track as well. And that's basically it. You work your way along. Now it looks laborious, but once you've done it a few times, it really isn't that hard to do. But as I've said, here where we're doing this track, it was an absolute mess under there, and it's been up and down a few times, mainly because the computer told me how to do the track with the computer program, and oh dear, anyway. So basically we've had to make do with a bad job where there is a mess. Obviously where you've got virgin board, so to speak, the cork goes down easily, the track goes down easily, there's not so much trimming. Yes, you may have to shim it a little bit with 1mm washers, because remember 1mm is 3 inches in the real world, 2mm is 6 inches. Now a real locomotive in real life would make a hell of a clunk with a 6-inch drop, but a toy locomotive or a model locomotive takes its power from the track, so you do need to get it right. And you can see there, you work your way along. And where you've got ballast going into the centre and is a bit too much, you just put greenery in the middle, like you can see there before the ballast is, so you can hide that. The great thing about weathering and doing it, etc., you can hide a multitude of sins, a bit like makeup. And that's basically what you do, you just work your way along. I'm not going to, it's pointless me just letting the video run showing somebody working their way along, but that's basically it really. You work your way along and you move the ballast along to go where you want it to go. You can see now that the ballasting's been done, and now what you use is the atomizer. And the reason you use an atomizer like this is you don't want to disturb your handiwork. Some experts recommend you use a syringe. No, you use this because you can see you're not disturbing your ballast. And that's it. Put it on. Wherever it goes you know it's going to dry, it's only water. And next you use the pipette and the 50-50 mix. Now again, the reason you use your pipette rather than a syringe is because you can apply it really gently like that, see? Total control, nice and gently. You can see here, all along the edge. That's real nice, and all the way along. And you can see it comes out really gently, total control. Now we've got here a proper glass medical one. Those cheap plastic ones, well, it's like everything you buy that's cheap, to be honest. But you can see here, I need some more. It's filling up. There we go. And you can see, just move it along. It all soaks in. And the water acts as an accelerant for the glue to soak in. You can see it's real easy. And you've got total control. Just along here. And you can see what you've done because it kind of goes a white colour. Let's do around the point motor. And that looks like it. And you can see that's all done. You can see the control I've got with this pipette, it's easy. Now you don't want to put too much glue and water on, otherwise it can cause the ballast to move. But you can see that's looking pretty good. And that's it, it's finished, we've just got to wait for it to dry. And you can see, well, you can see where it's been redone by the colour, but it'll soon weather in. And you can see it's all nice and even. I'm going to make sure the point moves, which it does. And I hope you can see the improvement, because obviously we set out to lose the kink here, which is gone. You can see the track is nice and level. Everything butts up nicely. And when it's all dry, we'll do a final track test. Now you do the final track test in the morning because it's dry, but the ballast isn't so dry that it's not easy to dig up. So basically you can run a loco around okay and you won't disturb it. It's dry enough for that, but it's not so dry if you found you've done something badly wrong that you haven't noticed, which we all do, that you can't put it right easily. You can take the ballast up without putting hot water on it, like we had to at the start with it had been down. Thank you for watching. What I'm doing is, I'm just moving some tissue gently along the top of the track to take any water and glue off without disturbing anything. Gently across the top, because there's glue on there. A tip, a track rubber is superb for getting UPVA off the track. But you can see here I'm not disturbing anything. I'm Just gently taking the water off the top. And there you go. So you do that and you can see, and obviously where the track hasn't been done, you can be a lot more brutal, so to speak. Because believe it or not, water residue on the track can affect electrical conductivity. And you can see, and I think that looks absolutely superb. Here we are adding greenery to the centre of the track. So basically what you're doing is you're making it realistic, because you have grass growing in the middle of any track, and also what you're doing is you're accommodating where there's a bit too much ballast. So you're killing two birds with one stone. And hopefully you can see the effectiveness of how it changes it. As I say, we've just got to wait for it to dry now. Thank you for watching.